אשת חיל מי ימצא, ורחוק מפנינים מכרה, בטח בלב בעלה ושלל לא אחסר, גמלת הוא טוב ולרע, כל ימי חייך. פיך פתחה וחוכמה, ותורת חסד על לשונה, צפיה הליכות ביתה, ולחם עצלות לא תאכל. קמו בניה ויאסרוה, בעלה ויהללה, רבות בנות עשו חיל, ואת עלית, את כולנה. A woman of valor, who can find? She is more precious than fine jewel. Her husband trusts in her, and so he lacks nothing. She does him good, never harm all the days of her life. She is dressed in strength and dignity, and she faces the future cheerfully. She speaks with wisdom. The law of kindness is on her lips. Her sons rise up and bless her. Her husband sings her praises. Many daughters have done brilliantly, but you excel them all. מזמור לדוד, אדוני רואי לא אחסר, בנדש ירביצני, על מי מנוחות ינחלני, נפשי ישבב ינחני, ומעגלי צדק למען שמו. גם כי אלך בגיא צל מוות, לא ירא כי אתה עמדי. שבטך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני, תערוך לפני שולחן נגד צוררי, דשנת ושמן ראשי כוסי רוויה, אך טוב וחסד תרדפוני כל ימי חיי, ושבתי בבית אדוני לאורך ימים. 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He has me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He guides me on path of righteousness. He revives my soul for the sake of his glory. Though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no harm, for you are with me. Your staff and your rod comfort me. You set a table inside of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. In the word of Ecclesiastes, a season is set for everything, a time for every experience under heaven, a time for laughing and time for weeping, a time for speaking and a time for silence, a time for seeking and a time for losing, a time for giving birth and a time for dying. The time of mourning is a complicated time filled with many emotions and memories, both bitter and sweet. And that's why we begin our service with the recitation of psalms and prayers, thus linking Yana Vaks' life with the 3,000-year-old tradition of the people of Israel and the eternity of God. Dear Serge, Natasha, Ava, Marina, Igor, May, Noah, Sasha, Hannah, relatives and friends, we gathered here today to pay our last respect and to say goodbye to Yana Vaks. We all mourn today that she is not with us anymore. She was a wonderful woman. She was a wonderful mother. She was a loyal and wonderful wife to her husband of more than 50 years, Boris. She was a wonderful grandmother to her 5 grandchildren, whom she adored and loved spending time with. She was born in Kiev in December 29, 1937. During the Great Patriotic War, she was evacuated to Uzbekistan, where she spent years of war in Tashkent. After her return back to Kiev, she got bachelor degree in accounting from the Kiev's Chemical Mechanical Technicum. Yana and Boris met in Kiev. They met on the beach. They started going out and fell in love. Yana didn't know that Boris was younger, and when she found out, she was really, really upset. It happened right before their wedding. She cried all night, but then she got okay with it, and she agreed to marry Boris. They were married in 1963. And they lived happily together for more than 50 years until Boris's death in 2015. Boris was calm by nature, and he let his wife to take care of the family and everyday life's problems. His duty was to provide for the family, and her duty was to organize everything for the family and take care of everybody. 2 sons, Serge and Igor, had a wonderful childhood, and you had everything what you wanted and needed because your father and your mother provided for you very well. As I said, she got a bachelor's degree in accounting, and she worked in Kiev as a chief accountant. I don't know where she worked, but that was her. She was very accomplished, and she was very good at the work that she did. In early 70s, Yana decided that the family had to immigrate from the Soviet Union. It wasn't an easy time. Anti-Semitism was prevalent in the Soviet Union and especially in Ukraine. And Boris listened to her without saying much. He wasn't, I guess, he wasn't excited to leave the Soviet Union at that time, but he agreed. And after some time, in the winter of 1979, your family emigrated from the Soviet Union, and finally you came to Cleveland, where you had some relatives already. Life wasn't easy the first few years. As I said, Yana was a chief accountant in the Soviet Union, and she started working here in Cleveland. And Boris, who was a metal turner in the Soviet Union, started working here as well. And later, both of them started a small business, their own business, small metal shop, where they worked together for more than 30 years until Boris's health started to deteriorate rapidly. He got several insults, and he couldn't continue his business. Yana took care of Boris after his first stroke. and she cared for him until his last breath. Yana was very social and always had a lot of close friends. She loved to dance. She loves to travel. She loved spending time with her grandchildren. She was very adventurous. Yana Vaks lived for her family. She loved her family very much, and especially her 5 grandchildren. She loved spending time with all of them. May her soul be bound up in the bond of everlasting life. Tehi nishmata tzorora b'tzror v'chaim. I know that both sons would like to share their memories of your mother. Please.
Thank you. Thank you everybody for being here to say goodbye to Yana and to see her off. Yana, my mom passed away last Wednesday, so it was almost exactly 6 years to a day since we put to rest her husband of 50 years here, Boris. So she's back, so that's good. That's good. She didn't really know what to do without him. I have a short story that I remembered about mom when I was driving here, and it was actually a toast that she gave at her 26th or 7th wedding anniversary. So a long time ago, when they were only halfway with being together, and when both of them were younger than me. And later in the evening, when people had many toasts, mom got everybody's attention, and she said, I have something to say on my anniversary. And she started saying that Boris doesn't pay her compliments. And she started saying that Boris doesn't bring her the candy that she likes. And her friends started chewing her and trying to get her, to just hurry up, because she thought she was going to be complaining. And if you know my mom, she got feisty and a little bit upset, and she said, just let me finish, and this is my party. And then people knew that she's upset, and you can really get her upset, and then they let her finish the story. And when she got to the point, she said that a couple of days before the party, she was just not feeling well and feeling fussy and cold and couldn't sleep. And Boria, she called him Boria, not Boris, told her, I have a lot of worms for you, just come cuddle. And she said she doesn't get compliments, she doesn't get candy, she's just in love with Boria because of his worms. So that's pretty much a relationship. So that's it.
So first, thanks everyone for coming, and I know everyone knew my mom at different stages or parts of her life. My mom was always a very interesting person to talk to. Something wasn't said. She loved reading. She was a voracious reader, and you could discuss any topic with her very easily. She was, as was said, a very social person. We used to just strangers, like anywhere we were, she would talk to strangers easily, like she knew them for years, and people were very open and easy around her. The one thing I want to, the biggest precious thing that I got from my mom that I value above anything and everything else is actually unconditional love. Never in my life, based on actions or words, that I have to think twice about needing or having to do anything. It was, in my teenage years, I was sometimes a little bit, rambunctious, and trouble found me or I found trouble. But irrespective of anything, it was just complete 100% acceptance with no doubt, with no anything. And I obviously passed that on to my kids, who I expect would pass it on to theirs. But aside from that, I that growing up with that unconditional love, aside from you and my kids, I've had a chance to share that with friends and family and loved ones, that are here, and I cherish that about everything else, because life is a lot more beautiful and sweet when you can give and receive, unconditional love. So, so thank you, Mom, for giving the most important lesson of all.
Thank you very much to both of you for your memories and nice words. Maybe grandchildren are here and would like to say a few words in memory of your grandmother. Please. No, it's okay.
Hello. Thanks for coming here. Don't have a lot of words to say. Just loved my grandmother very much. I knew she loved me, and she was a very kind woman. Glad you're all here to be with her.
Thank you. Thank you. Please rise for the memorial prayer. Maler Hamim Shochayna Ramim Hametz Emeno Hanechonam Tachat Kanafei Ashkinam B'mahalot Kedoshim Adhorim Kazol Hargarakia Mazgerim Et Nishmat Yana Bat Abram Veolga Shehalach Haleolamaha Begadan Tehei Menuchatam Anabavalgarachamim Astirei Beseter Kanafach Aleholamim Vetitzror Betzror Chaim Et Nishmatam Adonai Gunachalatam Vetanuag Beshalom Al Mishkavav Venomar Amen. O God exalted and full of compassion, grant perfect peace in your sheltering presence among the holy and pure to the soul of Yana Vaks, who has gone to her eternal home. Master of mercy, we ask you, remember all the worthy deeds that she performed in the land of the living. May her soul be bound up in the bond of life. The Lord is her portion now. May she rest in peace. And we all say, Amen. Please repeat after me the words of the special prayer. It's called Mourner's Kaddish. It Gadal, V'it Kadash, Shmei Rabbah, Belma, Divra, Hirutei, V'yamlich, Malchutei, B'chayechon, Uvyomechon, Uv'chayei, Dechol, Beit, Israel, Bagala, Uvizman, Karif, V'imru, Amen. Yehei, Shmei, Rabbah, Mevorach, Leolam, Ulalmei, Almaya, Idbarach, וישתבח, ויתפאר, ויתרומם, ויתנשא, ויתהדר, ויתעלה, ויתהלל, שמי דקדושה, בריחו, לילה, מן כל, ברכתה, ושירתה, תושבחתה, ונחמתה, דאמירן, בעלמה, ואמרו, אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. According to Jewish ritual, the last ritual that we perform here at the gravesite, we throw the dirt on the casket as a token of our love and respect to the deceased. So members of the family first, and then everybody who would like to perform that ritual can do it. You can do it with the shovel or just grab with your hand and throw the dirt.
If you want to start with that shovel.
וישב העפר על הארץ כשהיה, והרוח תשוב אל האלוהים אשר נתנה. The dust returns to the earth as it was, but the spirit returns to God who gave it. תהי נשמתה צרורה בצרור החיים. May the soul of Yana Vaks will be bound up in the bond of everlasting life and love.